Hello, sports fans. This is the Bookmaker Podcast with Art Eftekhari, a.k.a. Mr. Bookmaker, your source for the sports betting industry 24/7. Sit back, relax, and listen as Mr. Bookmaker highlights what's happening right now in the world of sports. So, without further ado, here's your host, Art Eftekhari.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another edition of the Bookmaker Podcast. I'm your host, Art Eftekhari. Really glad that you can join us. Before we get things rolling, you know the routine. Get to our website as soon as you can. You know the address, bookmakerinfo.com. That's www.bookmaker-info.com. We got the links to all the best European, Asian, and United States friendly bookmaker sites, and our bookmaker guide is available for you to download. So hurry up and download it. Before we get to our A to Z sports betting lingo, make sure you check out our blogs that are available on our website. Dan is always busy with his cricket blog, and Patrick knows his American sports, so check those out as soon as you can. And of course, make sure you also pay a visit to the Mr. Bookmaker football blog, or soccer, depending on where you are in the world. Now, for our A to Z sports betting lingo, what is our concept for today? It is pleaser. Now, what is a pleaser? Well, it is a bet on two or more teams where the line on each team is adjusted against the favor of the bettor, but with a higher payout. So just like a parlay, all selections must be correct for the pleaser wager to win. So don't forget that. Today's concept for A to Z sports betting lingo is pleaser. Now, are you ready for some football? And when I say football, I actually mean American football, the National Football League. The 2018 NFL regular season is pretty much right upon us. Opening night will take place on the 6th of September, if I am not mistaken. But I'm not here to just go through the lines and the spread for each of the games. Instead, I'm at William Hill, that's www.williamhill.com, to go over some special bets with you. Look for that hashtag, your odds. For those who've been listening to the Bookmaker Podcast for a while, you'll probably realize that I really enjoy the section called Your Odds. So let's take a look at the Your Odds section. There are plenty to choose from. Here we go. How about Eli Manning to have over 17.5 regular season touchdown passes? The odds for that, 4-7. Okay, not really extremely, a risky wager, but you never know. Eli Manning has been in the league for a while. The Giants have been declining. You never know how things are going to go next season. I still think they have a lot of work to do. What about Marquise Goodwin to have over 999.5 receiving yards? The odds there, even. All right. Moving on a little bit here for some other interesting bets. What about Deshawn Watson, quarterback of the Houston Texans, to have over 4,199.5 passing yards, over 499.5 rushing yards, and over 2.5 rushing touchdowns? The odds here from the bookies at William Hill, 6-4. And I had Deshawn Watson on my fantasy football team last season, and I must say, I really was hurt when I got that news that he tore his ACL. I mean, of course, obviously felt bad for Deshaun Watson that he had to deal with that injury, but we also know how fantasy football players feel in those situations. How about Saquon Barkley to have over 9.5 regular season touchdowns? The odds there, 11-8. How will the rookie running back do? Looking forward to see what he can do. How about Chicago Bears quarterback Mitchell Trubisky to have over 2.5 rushing touchdowns? 6-4 odds. What will the Bears do? It seems like the Bears are one of those teams where just things don't really seem to work out. So pay attention to the Bears, or, as we always call them, the Bears. What about, now involving place kickers, Justin Tucker to make a field goal of 60 yards or more in the regular season, 11-4 for that. You gotta love when these place kickers make those really long field goals. Really brings a lot of excitement. And before we continue, make sure you get to our website as soon as you can. You know the address, bookmakerinfo.com. That's www.bookmaker-info.com. You know the deal. I want you to become an expert at this entire online betting process. So that's why you need to get to our website, download our Bookmaker Guide, and don't forget that we have tips on how to register, bet, and withdraw. And we also have our A to Z sports betting lingo. Yes, I do go over a new concept with you every podcast. But get to our website so you could master this entire online sports betting lingo. All right, getting back to William Hill, I'm still checking out these bets here under the hashtag Your Odds. How about any team to go 0-16, 25-1 for that? Or any team to go 16-0, same odds there, 25-1. Now, let's get to the specifics. New England Patriots to go 16-0. The odds there, 66-1. It's really difficult to go undefeated in a season. And of course, when you look back to that year when the Patriots went 16-0 and won both their playoff games, but lost the Super Bowl, I mean, what was that feeling like? Of course, the 1972 Dolphins and all their annoying fans loved it, but whatever. I know Dolphins fans that are so proud of that, and yet those Dolphins fans were not even in existence during that 1972 season. What about the Cleveland Browns to go 0-16? The odds for that, 100-1. Can that happen again? I know a Cleveland Browns fan, but man, 0-16 again. What will rookie quarterback Baker Mayfield do with the Browns? What about Aaron Rodgers to have the most passing yards, Ezekiel Elliott to have the most rushing yards on the season, and Antonio Brown to have the most receiving yards on the season? 100-1 for that to happen. You know, just imagine having all three of those players on your fantasy football team. So write that down. Try to do that. Now for some surprise ones. How about 150-1 for Brian Hoyer to be the next Super Bowl MVP? Yes, I know you want to laugh when you hear that, but did anyone expect Nick Foles to be the Super Bowl MVP for the Philadelphia Eagles this last Super Bowl? Tell me that right now. Of course, no one expected that. Or 200-1, Tom Brady to have the most passing yards, Ezekiel Elliott most rushing yards, and DeAndre Hopkins to have the most receiving yards. Another entertaining one as well. 500-1 for the Jacksonville Jaguars to go 16-0. Well, sounds reasonable to me there. And how about this one? 5,000-1 for the Patriots, Steelers, Jaguars, Texans, Eagles, Rams, Saints, Packers, 49ers, Giants, and Browns, all to make the playoffs. Well, I am a 49ers fan, so I would absolutely love it to see the San Francisco 49ers back in the playoffs. So like I said, get to williamhill.com as soon as you can, look up NFL, and look for the hashtag YourOdds. And we are getting ready to wrap up this edition of the Bookmaker Podcast, but now let's go over to Paddy Power to go over some special bets. That's www.paddypower.com. Who is going to be the outright winner for Celebrity Big Brother 2018? Is it going to be Kirstie Alley 4-6, Ryan Thomas 5-2, Dan Osborne 6-1, or even Nick Leeson 12-1? Those of you who love Celebrity Big Brother, this is your wager right here. Who will win the Mercury Music Prize 2018? Will it be Sons of Kemet with 3-1 odds, Nadine Shaw 4-1, King Cruel with 5-1, or Georgia Smith with 6-1 odds? Or what about those of you dancers out there who love these dancing competitions? Strictly Come Dancing. Who's going to win this one? Ashley Roberts with 7-2 odds, Vic Hope 5-1, Danny John Jules with 7-1 odds, or Lee Ryan with 8-1 odds. Other contestants are available to place a wager on, so get to Paddy Power as soon as you can. You know that address, that's www.paddypower.com. And that is it, everybody, for this edition of the Bookmaker Podcast. Really do appreciate the support. Make sure you get to our website as soon as you can. You know the address, bookmakerinfo.com. That's www.bookmaker-info.com. Like I said earlier, check out our blogs as soon as you can. Dan knows his cricket, and Patrick knows his American sports. And of course, get to the Mr. Bookmaker football blog, because Mr. Bookmaker knows his football, and he also has taken your love of international football to the next level. Thank you, everybody, for listening to this edition of the Bookmaker Podcast. We'll see you next time.
This has been the Bookmaker Podcast with Art Eftekhari, a.k.a. Mr. Bookmaker. Thanks for listening. If you haven't already, please show some love by subscribing to this podcast on iTunes or Stitcher. Till next time, this is Mr. Bookmaker over and out.